Today's video is going to be all about the Enfield No.4 Mk.1 long range. I mounted a simple scope on it. It's a 4x32 for accuracy's sake, and I achieved that one. And the trigger, it's a typical the Enfield trigger, I guess. It got the first and the second stage. First stage here is almost non-existent, and it kind of in my opinion, makes my rifle unsafe. So I bought a new one. It's over there. We're going to have some spare parts. We're going to do an unboxing afterwards. So, like I said, I'm going to replace that one. And inside here, I take the rifle apart in just a minute. There's a sear, and I'm going to replace that one too. And why? Because when I took the rifle apart, I noticed some dentations where the trigger hits the sear. And I guess it's just wear and tear, but I figured why just replace that one too. So that's what I'm gonna do. The rifle is clear. There's nothing in the breech. The magazine is empty. Have in mind, it's clear. Enjoy the video. Again, just to show you what I mean when the first stage is almost gone. This is the number 4 again. The one we're gonna replace the cocking piece and the sear. The first stage should be around here, but it ain't. It's more like a modern rifle without the accuracy and the predictability. It's just find the trigger and hope for the best. Again, find it. It's more lighter. It's smooth enough, but you can control it. So hopefully I can restore it. So just to show you guys how I think a trigger should operate on the Enfield, I took out my No.1 Mk.3. The rifle is empty, the magazine is empty, the breech is empty. Loading, and notice the first stage. I'm just gonna go a little bit closer. So, first stage, and it releases just fine, and I like it. First stage, second stage. Show you again. First stage, second stage. Okay guys, let's just get started. I'm going to do a quick disassembly of the rifle, and I'll be back. For starters, I'm going to remove the spring here, remove the pin for the sear, and remove the sear. To make it easy, I'm going to turn it around, apply some pressure on one side of the sear and the other one of the spring, and just put it down, and the spring is off, like that. Oops. Take out the pin. And now just for the quick unboxing of the spare parts. And as you can see, we got the cocking piece there. Cocking piece, sear, and of course the tool to remove the firing pin. If we look at the sears, take the old one first, and as you can see, there are 2 dents in here. One is down there, the other one is up here. And if we take the new one, you will see they are not in here, but it's still polished. If we turn them around and look at it like this, this is the old one, this is the new one. You can see this one is, I don't know, filed down, and I didn't do that. This one is much more solid. So maybe one did a trigger job on this one. I don't know. But you can see this is more massive. And if you look inside of them, you can actually see that the new one is hollow inside. Can you see that? Where the pin goes in. Whether it is just to save weight or something, I don't know. I'm not going to explain exactly what I'm going to do here, but obviously there are a lot of videos about that. It's loose. Take out your firing pin. and you spring, and it's off like this. There's nothing to it. So let's take the new one. It's actually they look alike. This is the old one, this is the new one. If you look at the front, I'm just gonna get my pencil here. You can see that this one is polished. You see this is the new one, and it's a bit bigger here. If you can see it, if that's make any difference, I don't know. If you see the grooves here on the side, they are not alike either. This is the old one, this is the new one. And you can see here too, this one is round here, this is the old one, this one is flat. I will install the new one, and we will put the bolt back together. This one goes up to the cocking piece. Just gonna line it up like this, slowly, and just put it. There's nothing to it actually. Yeah, that's the right way around. And then we're gonna install the spring again. That's actually easy. Just put it in there. It kind of clicks in place on the sear, and the only thing you have to do is to grab it, apply some pressure, and put it down, and it's firmly in place again, as you can see. And with the magazine release here. Okay, we're all done with that. Okay, let's see if it works. I'll just put the magazine, the trigger unit, magazine well, whatever, on the rifle, and we will find out if it did the trick. Just a moment. Here, this goes in there. Goes in there. In my experience, if you put the rifle together again, put on all the tension screws and everything in the wood, it builds up tension in the rifle. Also, if you just put on the magazine, it builds up tension on the trigger. That's my experience anyhow. Okay, now the trigger is together again. I will put in the bolt in a second. So I will just zoom in, and as you can see up here, we got the first stage. It's here. It's still kind of some in here, but I think it's okay. Well, we got the first stage here, and the second stage haven't engaged yet. As you can see, it's there. Now it's actually okay, but I have to put in the bolt to be sure. Okay, let's see. So there is a second stage now, but it's quite crunchy. Very crunchy indeed. As you can see, wait, if I pull it back, keep your eyes on that one, the first stage. Look, the creep there. And I think, just a moment, we'll try it again. And it's quite rough. What I'm going to do very carefully, I'm going to take the bolt apart again and polish it up on some wet and dry. I polished it down with some wet and dry, and it made all the difference. Look at this. Look at this first stage trigger, and it's not, the cocking piece is not moving that much either, so I'm very pleased with the result. First stage, first stage, second stage, again, and just look how it releases. Beautiful. So I'm done assembling the weapon, put on the wood, the tension screws, everything like it should be, and right enough, this crisp first stage trigger I had before is gone. I don't know why, I'm very disappointed. I didn't take off too much of the cocking piece, I'm sure about that. So the notches on the trigger may be wear down, and my next project is to buy a new trigger and just install that one, and I'm sure that it's going to be alright. I'm gonna show you. You can see there's a little first stage there, and it releases just fine, but it's not enough. I don't have the same control as on my No.1 Mark III. It's better than before, but not good enough. So very disappointed, and I have to do it again. Buy a new trigger, install that. So bye for now.